What is up, creators? Happy after Thanksgiving Day, Native Americans Day, Native Peoples Day, whatever day you celebrate. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a fantabulous day. Happy 3, 4, maybe 4-day weekend, depending on if you got the day off work. Hopefully you did. But we're here. We're going to talk about some of the holiday deals, Black Friday deals that is commonly known as far as advertisements and things like that. FYI, whether you're watching this live or on the replay, first of all, thanks for being here. Number 2, we have not only software and hardware deals, but I will be uploading the blog post all day long today as new deals come out, because it's not just today only. It's actually going to include the deals up to Cyber Monday, and then sometimes Amazon goes and they go ahead and do all the way to like Cyber Week or whatever, like, so it kind of extends. So new deals are constantly coming out. Some are today, some are tomorrow, some are on Monday. So we'll have a blog post that will go with that. And after the live stream, I'll put a link down in the description so that you can get access to that. Alrighty, so let's say hello to the peoples over in the Chizat. Uh-oh, why are you so big? Good. What is up, Silver Lining Home Place? I don't know quite how to pronounce that, but alrighty. Merry Christmas to you. What is up, K-Walk Comedy? Good to see you. Glad that you are here. What is up, Tarek? Good to see you. Glad that you are here. I am here. I am here. What is up, Jojo the Techie? Good to see you. Glad that you're here. Saying any good software deals worth our time this Black Friday? Actually, it's a ton of software deals just about. But here's the catch, though. And I'm saying catch, but it's more or less here's the opportunity when it comes to that. You have some software deals that are if you're new to the program. You have some software deals that are if you, well, I guess for everybody, new, old, doesn't matter. It's just on the program itself. And then you have some that are for more or less, I guess, if you've been on trying to get like a lifetime plan or whatever. So, for example, we talked about Upbeat, who I've been using for a lot of the different music that you'll see in the videos, even music that you listen to right now and on the live streaming stuff. I also use Epidemic Sound, but I'll tell you also how to like compound some deals so you get like the best deals ever when it comes to software, because sometimes companies have B2B or business to business relationships. And so we'll talk about that in just a smidge of a second. Let me pull up the blog post because I was still editing it up until the moment, but I want to show you that and something else. So real quick, let's see who else we got in the chat. What is up, DePaul Duncan? Good to see you. Glad that you are here. What's up, Mr. Camera Junkie? Tawana in the house. Good to see you. Glad that you are here. Saying hello to the new overlay, new vibe, new tribe. What's going on? Good to see you. Gab saying so happy to be here. Love your work. Why, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Glad to be of service. Alrighty, so let's see here. Let's go over to this and hissin'. So over here on the blog post, I have a ton of updates. So when it comes to live streaming and software, Ecamm Live, which is what I use for all of my live streams. Matter of fact, am I even? I'm even. So Ecamm Live, that's what I use if you use the promo code CYBER21. And obviously, I'll put links to everything in the description afterwards, or you can go over to the blog post. I'll give you the link in just a second. They are giving 40% off of the Ecamm Live annual plan, but this is for new accounts. So if you already are an existing customer, chances are you probably already have maybe this deal or something very similar to it. But this is 40% off of annual plans. And so it's $9.60 a month if you want to go with standard, or $19.20 a month if you want to go for the pro account. I've been using the pro account since 2018, or everything that will be in it, and it's constantly updated. So unlike some software tools that I won't shame any that probably should be shamed, you can get the account, like you'll pay for it, right? But then when new or really good updates come out, you constantly are having to pay for it gets ridiculous. You were supposed to pay for the updates or whatever. So every year there's like a set of updates, but they want you to pay for it in order to get it. Ecamm isn't like that. So whatever account that you get, you're going to constantly get a bunch of updates in that one. I think the best benefit, bang for your buck, is going to be Ecamm Live Pro. Now, let's not get it twisted. Ecamm Live is more than just for live streams. Like if you're only using it for live streams, you're not getting all of your money's worth in that, like in the sense of what it's capable of. You're only using maybe 15, maybe 20% of the actual program. It could do so many more other things. So if you can stream to it, you can just about create with it. So my Mastering Micro course, that's available. Like that whole thing made in Ecamm. It's only very little that we went and maybe needed to edit it for Final Cut Pro 10 or with Final Cut Pro 10 or Adobe Premiere. I use Final Cut, the team uses Adobe, so that's why. So let's see here. Saying, does the free trial count as an existing account? No, like that doesn't count because you aren't a member or a subscriber, active subscriber. Am I speaking in English? Active subscriber. So yeah, if you don't have an account yet, if you've tried the free trial, but you haven't moved on to the next step of actually purchasing one, you can take advantage of this. You go to dyna.link/ecamm, ECAMM, and take advantage of that. So yeah, I think it's dope. Like I said, I've been using it since 2018. I switched to Mac so I could use that in Final Cut Pro, and it's absolutely been worth it. The other account that is also giving like software is TubeBuddy. You're also getting 40% off of any Pro, Star, or Legend account. I've been using the Legend account. And if you're looking for a more efficient way of learning how to YouTube, learning to be a content creator on this platform, this is the go-to. I also do use vidIQ. I don't want that to like be unknown or like some hidden fact or something. But I started using vidIQ first, and then I added on TubeBuddy. And it's just some tools that TubeBuddy has that vidIQ doesn't do as well. And there's some for vidIQ, respectively, that TubeBuddy could use some improvement on. So I'll put it that way. However, here's the kick that I want to tell you about. You get their TubeBuddy account, right? If you have TubeBuddy, remember I said some companies have partner relationships with other brands. TubeBuddy is one of those. So if I sign into my TubeBuddy account, which I'm going to do now, I'm going to show you some of the other active deals that Black Friday aside that you get access to regardless, right? This is something that like, if you are, again, looking to maximize the amount of stuff that you're getting today, if you're really like, okay, today's the day, I'm gonna get this, that, or whatever. Like we got plenty of gear to talk about and then some, or if you have questions about specific stuff or something that you're looking at that maybe isn't going to be in the list, you can drop a link in that. Well, could you drop a link? It's going to get blocked. So you can maybe put the item name or something, just copy and paste it from Amazon and drop it in the chat, and then I'll see it. But that way it's not like a link fest of ridiculousness or people trying to get their affiliate links and a bunch of other stuff. It gets weird. So, and of course, if you have regular YouTube questions, we're going to dive into that as well. So real quick, here's the deal. When you become an active TubeBuddy member, like you're actually paying for an account, again, this is on Legend, so it may be different if you're on a Star account or something like that. And if you're under 1,000 subscribers on your YouTube channel, you can get TubeBuddy, like that Star account, discounted. Like they'll tell you in the app for like $4.50 or something like that. So it's definitely worth it. But right here, if you're wanting to get a discount on Epidemic Sound, which is the reason why I'm showing this to you, this is always over here. Over here in this members area, it's other stuff, but like I already used Epidemic Sound. So even if Epidemic isn't having a discount today, I didn't check. So, I mean, I could, but I didn't check before. If Epidemic is having a discount for 25% off, then cool. But if they aren't, if you have TubeBuddy, you can get 25% off of your Epidemic Sound account. So just a quick way to maximize the deals to, you know, your stuff. I just think if you're going to pay for something, let's get the best deals possible and make it make sense, right? So I'm gonna check over Epidemic Sound real quick and just see what they have available. But I know we talked about Upbeat. I'm just running through the software tools right now. Upbeat has a discount going on right now. I don't see anything, or maybe because I'm signed in for Epidemic. So if anybody has more updated info on that, let me know. But let me sign out of my Upbeat account and then I can show you the discount, because that's the way that's working today. And then we'll get off into some gear. So if you have the Sony ZV-E10, got some accessories for you. If you got any other Sony cameras as well, got some accessories for you also. So Upbeat is doing a sale right now where you can get, is everybody doing like close to 40% off? But theirs, it's a little bit better. 90% off and a lifetime access with Upbeat Premium. So this is one of those things where if you don't have it now, you want to get it, because I'm watching behaviors and patterns of brands for a long time. They're in this process now before they go to subscription model. You could get this for like $69 or $79 at one point when they first launched. Now they're at $199 and you get like 90% off of whatever the price used to be. So it's $199, which is 90% off of a lifetime access for the Upbeat Premium. This is going to go away, not just for a Black Friday or Cyber Monday kind of a deal, but this is going to go away because eventually it just makes good business sense to switch to a subscription model. You're going to want to get one of these. They are adding sound effects. They're adding some other stuff. Sound effects is something that also happened when the price took a little bit of an increase, maybe by about $20. So if you don't have an account, you want to stay away from subscription stuff, you probably want to go ahead and grab this one. The music, we talked about that before, and we listened to some of the music. It's not corny. I like Storybox. Don't get me wrong. I use it a lot. We use it a lot in the company for other things. Music is not one of them. We have like maybe 10 or 12 tracks that we like that's like added to a playlist, and maybe a couple sound effects. They do a good job pretty much for sound effects, but I can honestly tell you, if you're looking for like regular, consistent, recurring, solely focused on music and like sound effects, Upbeat or Epidemic Sound, those are my two camps. Those are where I go for music. That's what I actually use. So that is what I would say as far as that's concerned. Let's see here. Who got else in the chat? Actually, let me keep the chat over here. Kim Bucha saying happy Black Friday. I'm listening in the background, trying not to spend more money. Today is not a good day to be on the stream, my dear. You might just go ahead and add your card, your shopping card, debit card, credit card. Just go ahead and add it to your Amazon account because you're going to add it. All right, let's jump into some of those tech deals that are coming in. Again, there will be a blog post that I'm already constantly updating that I'll drop a link to in the chat. Actually, let me create a Rebrandly link so it's a little bit easier to find. We will do this as deals. We'll rename that to deals. But these deals that you can get will be probably all day today. Well, some are ending in like 11 hours. So that's the thing. Some are ending in 11 hours. I'll drop a link to the blog post in the chat. What's going on, Mountain of Inspiration? I can see your comments there. Let me catch up to the chat because y'all not finna talk about me today. About, oh, Diana didn't read my comments. She's 30 minutes behind. Mind your business. What's up, Sammy? Good to see you. Glad that you're here. Let's see here. Saying, does the free trial? Okay, we answered that one. Glad. Mountain of Inspiration. Good to see you. Glad that you're here. Greetings. Bring good news to your boy joining Team Sony's EV10, finally getting enlightened. Congratulations. Welcome to the squad. Welcome to the squad. Way to go. What is going on? I would imagine that this is Doc to the Rock. Good to see you, brother. Glad that you're here. Saying it's Friday, right? Right? It is. Indeed it is. And I started with vidIQ, but switched to TubeBuddy. Yeah, you'll find your vibe with both of them. Again, just for where the business is, I use both, but for different reasons. And so I would like to just eventually go down to one. I'll put it that way. Saying maximize. What's going on, Millennial Ricky? What's up, Adams Exploit? Let me say what's up. Okay. Saying vidIQ, I was going to get it when you said it was $60. Where's the link and what's the Upbeat price? So you have to check on the website. Go to dyna.link/Upbeat, UPPBEAT. UPPBEAT. Let's see here. Because I only will see so much once I'm actually signed in. Then it's like, no, you're already in at a much lower price. So I got in like as soon as they started. Thankfully, I test and I try. It's what I do. Saying I'm lurking and listening. Avoid spending. Not the best stream to be on. We haven't even dived into the dive in yet. Alrighty. Saying, hi, young teacher. I love your content from California. Why, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Glad to be of service. And today we're going to be of service to your bank account, making sure that account is still active. We're going to start off with some tripods and accessories. There are some different pieces, like when it comes to your gear and your setup, that shouldn't be overlooked. Cameras, lights, audio is always going to be like your primary core thing when you're first getting started. The accessories is what make the system efficient. And this is what I want to educate you on today. You may buy some extra stuff because you want to try it. May the Lord bless you and keep you always. However, when it comes to what you're actually going to use, what's actually going to make this work, don't forget about your cables. Don't forget about your USB-C cables. I'm going to add more of that stuff to the blog. There's things that I already recommend that are already going like at a good price, so it may not be on sale, but just don't forget to add this stuff to your cart because you're going to need it. Okay, you're going to need it. First and foremost is going to be something I absolutely love to use and use probably just about daily. That's the Manfrotto Pixie. The price has dropped to $15.99. I'm excited about this price because I wish I had gotten it at this price, about 30 bucks, which is not already like super expensive anyway. But the idea is that it just works. And things that work and work well, I've had this since 2019, I think is when I bought this. It's been doing good. It's been doing really, really good. Let's try something a little bit different because there's some stuff on here that I already have in the office, so I can show you. So let's just try this and his. Working. And so the Manfrotto Pixie, I like it. I use it a lot. It works. It gets the job done. It works. And the thing don't fall apart on you a few years later. I've tried other stuff and it don't like, that's the problem. It's the little stuff. Maybe it is a really good plastic, or maybe it is a really good metal or aluminum or something. But the rubber parts, when that starts to chip away, then like it's useless. I tried that with a friction arm set and it was just like hella cheap and hella dusty and it just didn't work. So it goes. Like the whole thing becomes like pointless because now part of it doesn't work like it's supposed to. So it sucks. Moving on though, we have the next kind of a small one. This one is a little bit more robust, kind of comes with not just a built-in ball head, if you will, but something a little bit better. It's removable, but it kind of gives you a more traditional-esque tripod feel. So if you're into the Arca Swiss camp, good for you. Merry Christmas. And you can use that. I am not. I'm a Ulanzi Quick Claw person. Every time I see the Arca Swiss stuff, I take it off because it's easier to click into something than it is to just, you know what I'm saying? Like it gets lame. That's my opinion. But Small Rig has this and it has the rubber feet on it. And this one can go to a lower profile. I tried the Manfrotto Pixie one. It's actually sitting on the other desk, but I don't like it. It's more clunkier. You got to twist and turn to move the ball head. And it's just not, it's a good idea, just not executed as well. I would more so go for this. It's running for 39 bucks. Again, this is on the blog post, so you can check it out. And you can use this ball head for other stuff. So if you're upgrading your tripod and you're doing something a little bit better, this will work for you. This will get the job done. Let's go over to and see if y'all have any questions real quick, and then we're gonna run back over. And matter of fact, super chat coming in. Thank you so much, Super Sleep 75. We call you Super. Thank you so much. Am I muted, or was I muted that whole time? Sound follows the video. Hold on, let's try it. Okay, so I was muted on this one, and make sure I'm not muted on that one. Okay, my bad, y'all. Must have been testing something else, but yeah, hand cam, we'll call it that. The hand cam is back now, so we're good. All right, so thank you so much, Supers, for $5. Appreciate that. Let's see here. Alrighty. Okay, y'all good. It looks like you're good, but thanks for letting me know. I'm glad I checked, because that would have been a no-no, a big no-no. But yeah, when it comes to this tripod, it's pretty good. Just as far as like the ball head, you can probably replace the plate most of the time with these kind of things. When you see like it has like a true ball head on there, you can usually replace that, like different parts and pieces of it, and make it into whatever you want. And this right here, all you need is like I can't remember the size exactly, but if you have one of those sets, those what do you call them? It's like an Allen wrench or hex key, I think it is. It'll probably come with one. But whenever you see that little piece right there, that silver piece in the middle, you can replace that and put whatever you want. So if you like the Ulanzi ball heads, that's what I use on my actual tripods. You can replace this part and put your actual thing. If the Manfrotto clips are your jam, you can take this off and use it. So it's not bad for $39 if you want something a little bit more robust. Similar to the Pixie, but not plastic, but you want something that's more metal-like in focus, that'll work for you. The next thing we are covering is diving into the switch pod. The switch pod is actually something I use more around the office. I'm a little different, more around the office than I do out and about, because this is all metal. And once you add heavier cameras and heavier setups, you might be lifting weights, but I am not out there in those real streets. So the weight starts to get to me. So I just prefer, I'm small. I prefer small tripod thingies, but I have this and it works fantastically around the office. This is one of those other pieces and other things where that rubber piece at the top is really good. And the key with this one is like the fact that you have that, you don't have to deal with any screws. You don't have to find a quarter or a penny. You just use the thing to tighten it up. It works. So I like it. It goes from tripod mode to like the handheld mode, and you kind of just flick it out. I mean, it's fine if that's your jam. I just wanted something smaller since I'm going to put it like on the side of my book bag, and I wanted something small. So that's my thing with that. But this is on sale. Instead of $100, it's going for $79.20, which I have not seen this discounted before. Don't know if this is coming back. They've also have some discounts as well on their actual website that I saw. So if you're wanting to get into like having that plus their ball head and plus like some other stuff, then it's worth taking a look at. Like if you want to see it, let me know, like in real life. I can pull it out the gear kit over here and let you see it. But otherwise, a switch pod is a switch pod. It's very simple, but it gets the job done, and it does it well. So tripods, stand on brand here. There's a couple different ones that are out there for, what is it? Regular tripods. You'll see them marked as travel tripods. The thing is going to be, how much does this weigh? Because that'll dictate whether or not you actually want to travel with it. And how tall is it? Usually around Black Friday, historically, I've seen it to be like a 60-inch or 70-inch tripod, and somewhere between those measures. This one is really freaking tall. Like 80-inch tripod, and it's the lightweight aluminum. I have one very, very similar to this, just a different brand name. It's one of those private label things, but $60. I didn't get mine for $60. I put it to you like that. I'm using them right now in the office. So like I use them on a regular basis. These are my go-to. And when I need to do my heavy duty thing, it's like that. So, but this one though, it's different because it has like where you can take one of the legs off and turn it into a monopod. That's really cool. The plastic clips or whatever, I've not found where they get loose and like start sliding, like sometimes with the cheap lamp light stands. But $60, you really can't go bad. It can hold up to 33 pounds. I don't know what all you may be adding that's 33 pounds, but, and it also comes with a phone clip. So you probably won't use the phone clip, but this one is dope. So I'm just saying, throwing it out there just so you are aware. And then also like the Amazon Basics tripods are out there if you want to get access to those deals and things like that. The other thing is there's a Small Rig. They have their own tripod as well. Similar stuff, comes with a bag, comes with some accessories. Again, one of those Arca Swiss type heads. It also has the monopod. So if you want something more name brand, or if you roll with small rig, like I got some of their different gear around the office that I've purchased, and we're starting a new relationship with small rig. So that's going to be something that you see some of the gear on the channel. So I got some of that stuff in for the ZVE10, and this is pretty cool. Similar type setup with the clips, still lightweight, a little bit shorter at 78 inches. But if you want to go brand name, like $1 cheaper and then $5 off here. So technically you save $6. I mean, for the price, it's like, it's stupid to be cheaper when it comes to stuff like this, but it's like $6 is, I don't know, a Happy Meal for your kid. Do kids even still eat Happy Meals? I know none of the kids in my family do. They want a regular burger like you are eating a regular burger. I haven't bought a Happy Meal or a BK Big Kids meal in a very long time. What is happening to the children? We got a super chat over here. Let's show some love to the fam. Thank you so much. Thanks so much for your ZVE10 content. I found my top-down product showcase mode on the camera. Your advice has helped push me to 15. Wow, that's awesome. Tamron 11. Congrats to you. Everybody show some love. Hit that 15K. That milestone is serious business. Time to put that thing to work. So thanks so much for the super chat. I greatly appreciate it. Alrighty, let's see here. Make sure I'm saying hello to everyone's. Okay. So that's some vegan donuts right there. $6 is vegan donuts. Vegan donuts cost $6. Do you take the diabetes or do you take the more diet friendly one? I don't know. I wouldn't know nothing about that life, but apparently you know. The next thing on the kit, something I want to talk about a lot because I haven't owned a drone. I've looked at them a ton and I'm just like, where am I going to fly? Y'all hear the airplanes all the time. Y'all know that first of all, the military stay flying over here. But if you're in a place where you can fly drones or this is your jam, this is on sale for a really good price. Probably because they have newer models that they're constantly dropping. $298 for the Mavic Mini is a really good price. Like, it's not just Black Friday, just sell you some stuff kind of. No, it actually is a really good price. This is something I'm heavily looking at, but it's also something I'm like, are you really going to use this, Diana? And I'm telling that voice to shut up and just buy it anyway. Like, I'm feeling some kind of way about them. This one is one of those ones that's going away in, like, it's saying 13 hours. So if this is something that you've been having on your list, or something that you know that you want to get into or add this type of content, that drone aerial footage to your content and use it for some other stuff, maybe you got a nonprofit that you want to use it for as well. Like, this is something that's really good. I think churches and nonprofits especially need to be looking at this. You can add drone and aerial footage to your ads, your Facebook ads that you're doing. When you like bring a friend to church Sunday or whatever, you can get some drone footage and you don't have to have that Part 107 license in the US here for drones that are under the 249 grams. I think the Mavic Mini, weighing less than, so it just barely hits that under 250 grams in the US. If it was over that weight, then you would have to get a license. This is one of those ones that you don't need a license for. So it will do 2.7K, but I've seen people stretch that to 4K. And with an experienced video eye, I could not tell. So I like DJI, I like what they're doing. And the cool thing is they do a lot of updates when it comes to the software. So that's something you can constantly expect with the brand. That's why I like DJI. I was kind of looking sideways at them for a little, like, this particular piece of gear, but I'm finding myself buying more stuff for DJI. So it is what it is. So I want to jump over to lenses because I know we still have some fam here that have Canon gear. There are some other lenses out there. I'm not going to dive into a bunch of Canon stuff a ton here. So if that's what you need, you may need to go elsewhere for that. I apologize, but actually I don't, because I'm going to get into stuff that's better for you. How about that? But the 22mm f2 is not a bad lens to have for the mirrorless lineup. So if you have the Canon M6 or if you have the Canon M50 Mark II or something like that, you can grab access to that for a little of nothing. So $199 is not a bad price, about $50 off of the usual price. So it's not bad. The thing with this one though, you can be kind of close. A lot of people love the Sigma 16. It's a lens I highly recommend that you get if you're a Micro Four Thirds user. So like that Panasonic and Olympus, those cameras are Micro Four Thirds. Cool. Or some of Panasonic, I can say now, because they moved on to full frame. But cool. But the Sigma 16, like if you have any of, was it Fuji? I don't know if they have a Nikon one. I know they have one for Sony, and I know they have a Micro Four Thirds one. That's the lens usually people go for. If you want something a smidge cheaper, then I would suggest you taking a look at that lens. It is not bad. I used to own that lens when I had Canon gear. And it's sharp, and it does a good job. It's a really, really small pancake lens, but if you're moving away from Canon, maybe don't buy that lens. Maybe hold on for a little bit longer. And FYI, for those of you buying those Sigma 16 lenses for Canon EFM mounts, you can either send your lens into Sigma and have it switch it to, like some of you saying, like you go on the Sony route, cool. You can have them switch the mount so you can keep that lens, but they'll just switch the mount out for you. But it is also at the same price of a brand new lens. So I don't think that that's worth it. You could probably sell the lens, get your money back, and then just go buy the actual lens. And it'll be less time, less of a hassle, and just probably better for you. So something to take a look at if you're into that stuff. Another cheap lens, but we getting off into the Sony squad, 16 millimeter f2.8 lens. I do own this lens. This is another one of those pancake lenses. It's not that much cheaper, but $223 is a cheaper price than it has been going for. If you maybe, again, don't want to spend that Sigma 16 money of what it has been costing, which is like close to $400, I believe, this is the lens for you. A lens that you can consider. I'm gonna get into some other ones, so don't check out on this one right now. Probably add it to cart and look at it. Just look at it, but don't buy it yet, because I'm gonna get into some reasons and some other stuff that will be better for you. So I have this lens in the office. I brought this one forward so I could show you. This is this Sony lens. It's really small, real small. It works pretty good. Only thing with this one is like it's okay, but it's a cheaper quality lens. It doesn't look as sharp. You're not going to get as blurry of a background. It can get you close to there, but if we're being very, very honest, I know that's not what y'all want. Like, you're going to get it and you're going to be disappointed. I'm just going to be real honest with you. I don't need to make money off this lens. Like, you're just going to be disappointed with it. It's not going to be as blurry as you would like as an f1.4 lens. It will be lightweight, so if you wanted like a 16 and maybe something better than a kit lens to vlog with, then you can look at that lens. This is like that kind of a use. But you really, honestly, if we're being real honest, you're not gonna be able to tell that much of a difference between that lens and a kit lens. The f2.8 is not giving you that much back in the lighting and stuff. Like, it's not just a high quality piece of glass that's going to do the job. So I'm recommending it if it's for you, if you want to vlog with something really small, pancake lens or whatever. And it will identify, this is something weird. Maybe it's just my lens, but I'm curious if anybody else has this lens, what their experience is. It'll require focus on the eye or the face, but it's slower to actually truly acquire the lens. I don't know if the autofocusing motors are just too small or something, but I just don't think they put that much effort into this lens, if I'm being real honest, when it comes to Sony. So if you want to vlog with it, may the Lord bless you and keep you always, but maybe hold off on it because there's some better stuff out there. The lens that you've been looking at me on is a Sony 35 f1.8. This is that lens. And I'm not showing this to you so that you can buy it. I'm showing this to you because I want you to look at the price. $423 is not discounted that much today. It's saying like you could save 50 bucks. Woohoo. But $423 is still quite a bit for some of you. And again, just so you can see fully what this lens looks like. I love this lens. It's one of my favorite lenses, but it's not on sale that much today. And it may not bless you that much. Hold your horses though. Maybe look at it. Maybe add it to cart, but don't check out. Because Rokinon has one that is a fraction of that. Still a 35 millimeter, still an f1.8. And unlike some recommendations and things that you'll see online when it comes to third-party lenses for Sony, this has autofocus with it, and really good autofocus. It will not acquire the focus slowly like some of these other ones are. Where's my chapstick? Hold on, y'all. Like, you know, I'm black, so I need my chapstick. Hold on. I'm feeling it. I'm like, we need some help around here. All right. My bad. We'll be right back after these messages. The 35mm f1.8, it has autofocus. $242. I've not seen it this cheap. I'll keep the prices from the previous year's Black Friday deals and see what that price looks like. It's not been this cheap. You may see it for $299, but I've not seen it for $242 unless somebody was selling it. And this is brand new. So if you want that similar to what you're seeing right here, this 35mm f1.8, notice like the background blur. Like you can always tell like a good background blur right there with the fairy lights and stuff. It looks pretty gosh darn good. You do need about 3 to 4 feet between you and your camera lens to give you this kind of a shallow depth of field. If you come close, like how you would with the Sigma 16 or something, it's just not gonna work. Like you're gonna have head autofocus activated at that point. So there's something to take into consideration. Alrighty, Beers and Banjo, good to see you. Glad that you're here. Saying $4.49 a whole paycheck for the donut. A mess. Alrighty. Saying I want the Skydio 2 to follow you around your truck. Follows you and keeping you okay. Field of view near. Okay. See, I'm getting that instead of the FPV drone. Yeah, they do have like the FPV drone. I've had people say mixed things about that DJI FPV drone. So it is what it is. Tommy Ellison asking, do you use the Synology drives that Doc Rock has been touting? No, because I don't actually need to do that much editing and stuff anymore. Like, and it's not trying to like be bougie or sound bougie, but it's like, no, because I have a team of people that will edit for me. So I don't need to actually manage or even if I was doing it personally, this is my personal opinion. No, because I'm not holding on to footage like that. There's nothing that I actively need that much storage space for. Not anything on my computers or not anything that I'm like actively going to access. We use a cloud storage system. So I'll have something on the memory card and I'm dumping stuff temporarily to a 1 terabyte Samsung T5 SSD. And then I'll transfer it to the cloud where it'll get stored there. And we use Dropbox for the cloud. So if they need to access something, they're going there. But I don't, as much content as we produce, like I have just on my SD cards right now, 1 terabyte, like it's like 1,073 gigabytes. So I have a plus a terabyte of just active content that needs to be moved over right now. There's no way I would like want to keep managing drives and backups upon backups. Like even there's no active work that I do. If I was maybe still in editing content for other people, like when I first, started being an entrepreneur and stuff, maybe you'd have to, because you're managing a bunch of other people's content, but I'm not. So just in the kind of business that I'm building, I hired editors, so I don't need to hold on to that stuff. They may need it, but I won't. I won't need it. So it's something like if you are in that space and you're moving that kind of content, you don't want that on your computer. You do want that on an SSD drive. So great question, but the answer is no. I'm never going to go back to me needing to hold storage like that. Maybe, well, not even maybe. I know at one point when I build the team here in St. Louis and we have like the warehouse and stuff, we'll need stuff like that. But for me right now, nah, it's a no-go. It's a waste of money for me personally. Saying just look at it. Why she know exactly what I do with my car? Yeah, look at the gear. Don't check out yet. So back to the Rokinon lens. This one's good. 35mm f1.8 autofocus, $242. You can't go wrong with it. Next on that list is this one's by Samyang. It's a 35mm lens as well, if you want to come on and load. But it's an f2.8. f2.8 is not as blurry, but $190 if you're looking to offset that cost a little bit more. So 35mm at an f2.8, once you like go outside or you have more depth behind you. So if you are like, let's say at a church or a nonprofit, you got a warehouse, something like that, or you're doing videos outdoors mostly, that f2.8 becomes more noticeable in those situations. If you're doing this in a home office, like I said, 35 millimeters on an APS-C lens, or like your ZV-E10s and stuff, this is not a lens that you have on your camera that you can reach up and touch the screen. That's a 16 millimeter. You need about a good 3 feet between you and your camera. Then you need another about 3 feet behind you to get some levels of depth. So that's just something to consider. $190 though, you can't go wrong with it. Again, just to give you some kind of a concept of what a 35 millimeter can look like. You want to go with f1.8 if you kind of want this kind of background blur, but you need background behind you to be blurry. Some of you all ask, man, I want to get the Sigma 16 because you know the background gonna be blurry. Ain't no background behind you. You slap dab right up against the wall and there's no background. Sorry, let's just be honest. There's no background. You want your wall to be a smidge blurry. It's like, you're okay. You're okay. You don't need it. Like, may the Lord bless you and keep you always, but something to consider. Real quick also, when you go back over here, Tamron also has this. So if you're looking for something maybe a little bit more comfortable in a brand name that you would trust, depending on how you operate, Tamron also has a 35 millimeter f2.8 lens, as well as a 24 millimeter lens. Both are really small. Tamron has exceptional quality lenses. I've tried them personally. I absolutely love them, but it just doesn't make sense for me to personally own because I already have something between that range, so I don't need it. But $199 if you're looking for something that's a stellar lens. And something else that doesn't get talked about with the Tamron lenses, they have an exceptionally close minimum focusing distance, which is basically how close can you get to the lens before it can focus on you. So let's go over here and I'll show you something really quickly. So this is a ZV-E10. I have the Sigma 16 on this one. Minimum focusing distance, like, actually let me put on the product showcase mode. Hopefully I don't. There we go. So now product showcase mode is on. So you see how this is still in focus here, closer I get, and about, well, dang, Sony or Sigma. Okay, there. I'm about to scratch the lens. I'm so close. So it's still trying to acquire focus. You can see it's on my finger, but not the lens. So minimum focusing distance is how close can I get to the lens before it can't see anymore. So some of you all, your lenses are working fine and your camera is autofocusing fine, but you are within the minimum focusing distance for that particular lens and it can no longer focus on you. So again, just to show you, you can see it's on my finger. I'm gonna put my finger a little bit further back. So now you can see the tip of the lens is out of focus and my finger is in focus. My finger is hitting that minimum focusing distance, but the lens isn't. So some of y'all, you want to do, this lens is a little blurry. Some of you all want to do are Dusty. You want to be like, here's the lens I'm telling you about right now. Go buy it, get it right now. Nobody can see that because you're too close. Minimum focusing distance. I have a video I just did. It's not out yet, but it's coming out about what the numbers on the front of a lens mean and why that matters when it comes to video. So again, something to consider if you are getting into the lenses. We got a couple more to dive into. There's a lot of good lenses, prices for lenses right now. If you need, you're gonna need them anyway. So why not? Why not? Sigma 16 is on sale. On sale. A couple days ago, it was discounted already a little bit more. Now it's even more discounted. It went from $399 to $374. I feel like that's a little loud, the music. Okay, it went from $399 to $374, and now it's at $299. If you want this lens, get this lens. See if it's for, like, if you use other brands, see if it's rocking with Micro Four Thirds, Canon EFM, or something like that. For Sony folks, we in it to win it. We in it to win it. It's a good price. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just trying to tune the music. I'm like, hoping it's not too loud for y'all, but I'm still rocking with it. So, all right, $299. You want to see that lens again? I know you do. Don't worry. I know you. I know y'all. This is the Sigma 16. So this is 35, but it's about 3.5 feet away from me. Sigma 16. And again, minimum focusing distance matters, but you also see the closer you are to it, the blurrier the background gets. So if you literally sit in front of it, that's the kind of like blurriness that you would get. I'm back here, so this is the kind of depth of field. There's actually depth back there behind me. This is the kind of blurriness you get. The closer I would be to the lens, the more in focus that it would be. Need a manicure. Alrighty, moving on. Sigma 16 on the blog post. Get it, $2.99. If it's been on your list to get, you definitely want to consider picking it up. I think it's dope. I think it's absolutely dope. It's one of my favorite lenses that I use, but if that's still quite a bit for you, I got something for you. Samyang, Rokinon, same company, just different brands, names, if you will, but same stuff. They got a Samyang 18mm f2.8. Again, 2.8 is not going to get you that much of a blurry background, but it is better than that f3.5 on a kit lens. And these lenses actually are relatively sharp, so they're not bad at all. Not bad at all. So I'm just saying, if you want something a little bit cheaper, this is your go-to. F2.8 lens is similar to, like, I could take the lens off of this. If y'all want to see that, let me know, and we can swap lenses, and I'll put it on, swap the 16 with the f2.8, and y'all can see what that looks like. But it's not the best. And it is have, this one particularly, it does have a little bit wider field of view because of like the bezel. So it's probably a little bit more technical than y'all signed up for today, but I want to make sure you're educated. Not just recommend you things, but you're educated on what the hell you're actually going to buy, potentially, allegedly. Moving on, we have the Samyang 24mm f2.8. This will need some distance. You'll need about 2 feet between you and the lens so that it's just not your head in focus when it comes to this one. So just take that into consideration because the price is sweet on this one, $190. $190 for 24mm, not bad. It's something like if you maybe want something between that Sigma 16, something between that 35mm, or you just want a one and done kind of a lens, this may be good for you. You also have to remember you have clear image zoom on your lenses. We did a video about that on the channel that'll walk you through what clear image zoom is, how it works, and how you can use it in your camera, which is basically this. For those of you that didn't watch the video, are you even subscribed yet? I'm just saying. So you see that this is 35mm. Clear image zoom says that I can zoom in and keep zooming. This is up to 1.5 times crop, but zooming in on the sensor is not like a pinch to zoom on your phone and then it starts getting blurry. This is actually zoomed in on the sensor. So it's not like it's as good as an optical zoom is going to get when you twist that lens and it actually zooms. So if you're in 4K in your Sony camera, you can go up to 2 times and zoom in on that sensor. If you're in 4K, you can go up a 1.5 times crop on that sensor. So if you get the Sigma 16 and you just kind of want that to be your one and done lens, you'll be fine. You can still mimic that 24mm and still be at f1.4 if you like when it comes to that one. Saying, why you in my bag, Tommy? Y'all are silly. Saying, I don't think the Rokinon link is working at the blog, so I can check it. Okay, I will recheck the links for the Rokinon lens. Which one specifically? Because we covered a couple. If you mean the 35mm f.8, let me know and I can relink that to you. But that one should work, but I'll check and I'll drop that in the chat if it's not working. 35mm. Okay, matter of fact, you're right, I see it. Amazon 35, Rokinon 35. I'll drop that in the link and then I'll update the blog post. So give me 2 shakes of a second and we'll get that squared away. All right, but next comment in the chat. Alrighty, saying I'm not touting it. For sure don't buy it, but when you lose your data, don't call me the doctor. That's the thing. You have to have, you talk about the Synology storage system thing. You have to have efficient backups to what you're doing. It's only a point in time between a computer crashing, a system crashing, a drive crashing, or whatever. I've personally only experienced that when I was with PCs. That's not saying that Macs are invincible, but it is to say how important is your stuff. Everything that we touch in my company has something that I have access to, whoever's working on it has access to, and it's saved up in the cloud about 2x, at least 2 other times in different spots. But when it comes to what you're doing as a creator, you can't just have it live on the SD card and then that's it. Like it's gotta be, you know what I'm saying? Like, so we'll get into SD cards and stuff like that, but then we'll get into some questions that you all having. So if you have questions, put a Q and a colon and I'll grab those and we'll do some Q&A. I only have a couple more items that we're going to dive into because I want it just to be a QVC show today. I mean, I guess it could because y'all shopping today, but you know what I'm saying? Trying to be helpful to you out here in these streets. Alrighty. We're not paying attention. We love Ecamm Live. We don't like that Doc Rock is signed in under the Ecamm Live account for disrespectful comments like this. But I'm going to show you with the magic of Ecamm Live. I can go here and I can change the comment to Doc Rock needs more hair and save that comment. And now it's fixed with the magic of Ecamm Live. You can do that in real time. When you get haters in the chat, you don't delete the comment, you change the comment. I'm going to drop that Rokinon link for the lens in the chat so that y'all have access to that. And I'll make sure the blog post gets updated as well. All right. Alrighty. Saying put me on game 6. We will. Good to see you, Pharmacy Tech Lessons. Glad that you're here. Alrighty. Saying you're always supportive. Thank you. My pleasure. Glad to be of service. Saying I'm torn between the Sony and the Sigma lenses. Which one specifically? If it is a price thing, then that's one thing. If it's a focal length, quality kind of concern, let me know and I can address that. Price is only one factor when you're buying something. Like it should never be the price makes the final decision, because I promise you, you can see it and you'll be bugged by it and keep Googling and YouTubing what that lens looks like in your scenario or whatever. Like you'll stay on it and you'll be bothered by it. So sometimes it may cost a little bit more depending on what you want, but get what you actually want the first time, because it's just not going to go away. You're never going to say like if you really wanted the Sony version of a lens instead of a third-party version of a lens, you're always going to be like, yeah, this is cool and it's good, but it's not that sauce like such and such lens. Or you'll see somebody else using it. Maybe they color grade it better, but you'll swear it's the lens making everything better. So I'm just saying, you just pay attention to what you really, really want and then go from there. That's all I'm saying. Let me check real quick. Q colon. Okay, so we answered that one. Alrighty. Thank you to the Paul Duncan in the house. Appreciate that, sir. Helping out in the chat, saying I love that comment magic. That's all I'm saying. It's like when you get haters, you don't delete you just change it to what you want it to say. That's all you got to do. Moving on, we got the Ulanzi Quick Claw in the house. This is what I use a lot consistently for everything. It was one of those things that I wanted to try and see if it was good enough to like replace all of my quick release plates. I had ones that were pretty cool, but they were much larger. These are smaller. I like these because you can see right here, it's square. So it doesn't matter which direction you have your camera facing or that the plate is facing, you can always add it to there. And that lock is pretty solid. I've accidentally had it locked and been trying to pull it off, wondering like, is it stuck? Did it get, jammed? And the answer was no, it just was locked. And so even with like that human force, it can handle like if you turn your tripod upside down and stuff like that, depending on the shots that you're getting. Or even like putting, like I'll put the Sigma 16 on the A6600 and nosedive that down to like get something pointing towards downward, and it can hold that weight. So I don't know what the weight requirement fully is on this, depending on what camera you have. You probably want to watch that, but it is a lightning deal going on for this that is a little bit better than the Black Friday deal. And that's only going for the next 9 hours. So you got some time to make some decision on this one, but it's running for 18 bucks. I personally have never seen it this cheap. If you use these already, it would help to get some more. If you don't use any at all and you're just using whatever plate comes on your tripod, the more you create, the more gear you get as far as your phone clamps and all that stuff. It's worth changing. Again, that inside of that looks like this. So this is the top of this Ulanzi Quick Claw, and they have a couple different versions. But when you take this off, this is just one variation. This is the one I'm showing you in the link. It just has this bottom plate here, and that's that quarter adapter. So it'll work for anything that usually is coming for camera stuff. You can use this. So this Manfrotto Pixie has the built-in ball head. This is literally how I use this a lot. Put it on all my tripods, replaced all of the ones that was on there. And this is what I roll with when I'm traveling. Those of you that saw me in New York, this is what I'm using. So I really like this one. It works tremendously well. I just think if you're going to create, you might as well be efficient. You might as well be efficient. So Ulanzi Quick Claw, probably adding a few more of those in my cart today. And moving on to audio. I'm still looking for good microphones on sale. We were talking about this yesterday on This Weekend Live, in our live show that Doc and I do. Between DJI releasing their audio kit, and I'm hopeful to try to test that, and the Rode Wireless Go 2s being good, and I have used them and like swear by them, they're amazing. This is something that I've been waiting to get in the office. The company was supposed to send it to me, but I still don't have it, so I'm probably just going to end up buying it myself. Hold on, don't switch. Okay, this is the so what do you call it, USB charger. This is so, where did the picture go? Okay, let's back up and refresh the page. But this is a charging case for the Rode Wireless Go 2s. That way you're not charging every individual piece and you need like 3 USB-C cables or whatever. You'll only charge it in the back. I like the fact that it works with the version 1 and it works with the version 2. On the inside of this case, you'll have USB-C things. So when you plug it in there, it should click in, and then you just need to charge the case. I'm a fan of this simply because it already makes it travel friendly. You can throw it in your case and you can charge that. So I'm not thinking about charging this to a wall, but on the go when you're traveling and doing the stuff that we do, you more than likely have a battery bank with you, or maybe you got, USB-C ports and stuff in your car. I'm usually tapping or topping off my gear in the car, on the plane, stuff like that. This is something I personally want simply because I'm tired of looking for 3 USB-C cables every time I go, or taking extra. It's just going to simplify stuff and condense it down. I'm not sure of the size of this, like how big it is in the hand, but I would imagine it's about the size of, it can fit in your palm probably. But I like this, the fact it has the 3 USB-C. I'm curious if that would actually charge anything else, maybe, but it'd probably be too small to do that. But I like it. I like it a lot. It says it's magnetic, so something you can worth picking up if you're looking at the Rode Wireless Go 2s. I highly recommend the 2s over the version 1. It's just so many more things better. The version 1 does not have software associated with it that works to the extent that the version 2s do. The version 2s constantly are getting updates. So like we saw the smartphone update come out with it for the Rode Wireless Go software. So you can change that stuff on the fly. A lot of good things the Rode is doing. So this one is a nice accessory that kind of just came to the market. Again, I'll add this to the blog post, but for 39 bucks, you cannot go wrong. Let me know, for those of you that are hanging around, if you got the Rode Wireless Go 1s or 2s, or are you looking for something else when it comes to like accessories for gear? Because I think, like, if you don't have a wireless setup, I think the Rode Wireless Go 2s personally, and what I've tried, I haven't been able to test the new DJI ones that just released. I have to get access to them and try them, but I've not tried anything better. Like, honestly, Doc had his when we went to New York. I had mine. He also was using another brand's lapel mic. It didn't work that great. Cables hella long. That stuff is good for when you at home or whatever, but when you're traveling, do you want 50 meters worth of cable or whatever how long it is and the distance? No, you don't. So I use a Rode Smart Lab and it's much smaller in the diameter. I don't think that's on sale today, but it's worth adding to the kit. Matter of fact, let me just show you real quick. This is why I switched this from other lapels that I've personally been using. So when you take this wind muff off of here, this is why this matters to me. Like quality and all that, yeah, it sounds good. This is a pencil, like barely a pencil tip. It's very, very thin, which means when you clip this on your shirt, it doesn't look ridiculous and like you have a freaking, I don't even know, just something ridiculous on your chest. Like this is so much better in my opinion, personally. Just as far as the size and compact, the Rode Wireless Go 2s will fit, it'll work with these. So I just like this better. I know Rode did just recently, they recently released their lapel that is different. I don't know anything about it other than that. It looks exciting, but if it's going to be like, once something is clipped on your shirt, how ridiculous does it look? Like I could clip this on my shirt and not feel weird with these other lapels and stuff. That's something else to consider to add to your cart today. Do some shopping around like your lapels, your audio, your podcast mics and things that you're using. That stuff matters. Be careful about buying equipment that is Rode, R-O-D-E, like I just showed you, from Amazon today. You may see deals and discounts and whatever else. The reason why I'm not covering any is because Rode will not honor the purchase from third parties. All of those third parties that are there that are not properly affiliated with them, when something breaks. So if you see a discount on a Rodecaster Pro, for example, today on Amazon, they ain't gonna help you. They have had the offshoot occasions where maybe for some reason they help or whatever. But traditionally, like they have a big old pink banner on their website saying, do not buy from Amazon. We can't help you once you do. Once you pass them 30 days to return it to Amazon, it goes broke. It breaks. Can't help you. $600 in a Rodecaster Pro is not something I want to chance. So you want to go to B&H, Photo Video, Adorama, or something like that. Guitar Center, someplace that's truly affiliated with Rode. When you are making those kind of purchases, I personally bought my Rode Wireless Go 2s from Amazon because I had bought a used set. So I'm not worried about it at that point. And the deal was just too good for me to personally pass up. And it looked like somebody had maybe bought it, got past the 30 days and didn't like it and just returned it because stuff was still in the plastic. So I got a good deal for mine. So I'm just saying, just let you know, if you buy, know what you're getting. All right. So saying you're torn between the Sony and Sigma lenses. It's between longevity and versatility. Saying good point. Okay. Question, thoughts on the regular ATEM Mini paired with an audio interface? I've used the ATEM Mini, and because I use Ecamm Live, I'm not really a fan of it because it don't do anything that I couldn't do already with Ecamm. And I've been using the Loop Deck Live recently, and that is now more beneficial to me even still than when I tried the ATEM Mini. And I used the ATEM Mini for like a week straight. And I've tried it before, and it's just like, so you talk about like camera switchers, and it's like, meh. You know, it's like, or it's like, I can do picture in a picture. Yeah, so can I. Like, so real quick, like you see this shot, like when I'm showing you something. So I got the Sigma 16. Okay, well, this is the Loop Deck Live. They actually do have some discounts today, so I should include them also. This is the Loop Deck Live. It actually has knobs and buttons and all this extra other stuff that I can do, which is how I'm switching through the screens and stuff like that for what I'm using. But just to show you like the Ecamm side of things, if I wanted to switch this screen to something else, I already have built-in native camera switchers in all of this stuff. So if I go up here to my traditional just me screen, like you have it here, I can switch between this, the Sigma 16, I can switch between whatever one. Like you already have a built-in camera switcher that you can use your keyboard to swap between angles if you want to. So even if you wanted to add a picture in picture, you can do that natively in the application. You don't necessarily need an ATEM Mini, but I get where you're coming from because most people's thing with it is that the fact that it will not only switch between the cameras, but it replaces the cam links. The cam links aren't that much of a processor hog as most people think to use and run 4 of them on a Mac Mini, a MacBook Pro, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? To just honestly make it worth me suggesting it. So it depends on your use case. If you found like, no, this is actually what I need. I don't know. But to add that with an audio interface, you probably already maybe want to do one anyway. Not everything can do everything right. And what I mean by that is that, yes, it has like a 3.5 millimeter headphone port on there and some other stuff. But when it comes to audio and like good audio, you actually do want something that is good for audio. Like it has truly built-in preamps that will really, really work for what you're trying to do versus something that will, you know what I'm saying, potentially flake, or it's not, you know what I'm saying? Not. So sometimes you'll get something like an all-in-one system. It's like, no. When I did use the A10 Mini, I used it with a Rodecaster Pro. And I didn't feed the Rodecaster Pro into the A10 Mini and then send the A10 Mini stuff into the computers. You don't want to do that. And I've had clients and stuff that do that, and they are like, well, why this ain't working? Sometimes y'all are trying to make stuff a system and it just don't make sense. Be very honest with you. If you're going to build something that's a system, it should be a siloed system that works regardless of something else. So the Rodecaster Pro, the Shure SM7B XLR connector that I have, and all this extra other stuff, it is a system unto itself that works by itself. So the camera could cut off, let's say if something happened, the audio would be fine. The camera could cut off, the audio would be fine. Not everything shuts down because of one something. Like it literally have to be a complete power outage for everything to go out. And even then, like you have backup power. So don't feed your audio into the A10 Mini if you're thinking that. Just make sure your stuff is siloed out differently. So when you have issues, and sometimes like your preamp or audio interface is better with the preamp, so you aren't getting that shh noise at the bottom. To avoid that, don't connect anything else. Every new connection point is a new point of failure, and sometimes can introduce noise. And you're like, this mic isn't good. It's not as good as everybody say or whatever. Sometimes you've introduced something that's adding that noise. It's increasing the noise floor. So be careful with that. Hopefully that answers your questions around that. Saying after having to record the podcast on the road, I'm definitely getting the wireless go-tos. Yeah, it's really dope. It's really dope. Saying like a dead gerbil on your shirt. Talking about the mics that I was saying, it is. It's true. Camera Junkie knows it. Saying good advice on the road. I bought the NGG5 from B&H after you mentioned the no-go on Amazon. I mean, it sucks, but I wish that that was a thing, but unfortunately it's not. And I get it. Historically, there's been an issue between legit brands on Amazon and third parties, or if I put my stuff up for sale on Amazon and made a store. So some brands don't want to play in that Amazon space no matter how big it gets, because people can't tell the difference between, they're just going to that item, check out. They figure that's the price, that's the item, it should be from the brand, check out. Or it says it's from the whatever store. I could make something that says it's from the Sony store. Change the capitalization, add an underscore or something, and it's the Sony store. But nobody is thinking to check the actual store or the people that you're actually buying stuff from. You know what I'm saying? When you're getting gear. So here's what I mean by this. When you go over here to Amazon, over here in this corner, you'll see it says new and used right here. 5 different items starting at $242. All of these people are different sales, different people for different prices. Yeah, Amazon like, don't pay attention to that. Just go here. Yeah, but you also have $325 that's used for $4.99 from whoever the hell Max Buster is with 11 ratings, 11 reviews. $349 if you're getting it new from Adorama. They are actually a legitimate seller, the Adorama store. This is who I sell my Rodecaster Pros through. So if people are looking to get Rodecaster Pros, I send them an Adorama link, not a Amazon link, because I already know they may not know. Optics deals. Some apparently somewhat okay store, but $378, $399 again from Optics Deals. Don't know who they are, but they're not B&H Photo Video, so I probably wouldn't buy it. If it is something that's coming from Amazon though, like you'll see it when you're checking out, or it's like sold from Amazon or whatever. You'll also see that this particular one that I linked to ships and sold by Amazon. All right, so you got to be careful of what you're buying for some of this stuff. Either get it directly from Amazon if they're a partner of the whoever company, which they usually sometimes are, or find a legit camera store if you're buying something, especially if the prices are comparable. So just something to watch for when you're working through and, shopping for different stuff. Let's see here. Saying, quick question. Can anyone tell me what the default in the ZV-10 accessories kit? What comes in the default ZV-10, except the Amazon listing says accessories, but it doesn't list them. It probably is just the basic, a USB-C cable to charge and data transfer on the camera. It'll come with the Win Muffy thing, which is on my other desk someplace, or no, here it is. Grab this while I'm back here. So this and Hisson is the other piece that it'll come with. This same Win Muffy thing that we saw on the ZV-1. So this also comes with it. And people are saying, well, I could make that, or I could just, no, you really can't. They did a really good job with this. I mean, you could probably, but not, it's just get the regular thing. So it's a hot shoe Win Muff cover type thing. So that's what it also comes with. But that and a battery, if you get the camera only, take note of this. If you get the camera only, it's going to come with the lens cap on it. So it'll cover the sensor. I'm saying lens cap, but the body cap. If you get one with the kit lens that, 15 to 60 millimeter f 3.5 to 5.6 kit lens, it will not come with a body cap. So that is a weird way to cheap out on something with a piece of plastic. So you would need a body cap cover for, like, if you're getting other lenses and stuff, you're going to have something that's not covered properly. And then you can get dust into your lens, leaving that backside cover. So let me get her Sony camera cover. And it's all the same Sony E-mount. It'll all fit. But these. So like if you're buying something, you just would need to get one of these kind of deals. Again, something to add to cart if you're getting something. All of the Sonys, it don't matter if it says it's for one. Sony E-mount, that's the only thing you need to look for when it comes to like Sony accessories. Make sure if it's something specific to your camera, get a Sony E-mount thing. The other thing that I can recommend to you, if you're getting something for like, what is it, the ZV-E10 or any of those, you're gonna get a battery, get a actually like Sony branded battery. This is not some random brand, whatever. It's a Sony battery. Even if you got one used, fine, so be it. But get an actual true Sony battery. The battery life is not worth it for any of these other brands. And I mean like nobody's stuff. Over time, a year later, it's steadily losing charge. So you're wondering like, why my camera dying faster? Because the battery was trash in a bag. The other thing that you want to consider getting is this K-Star USB adapter. I just taped the cable down. It comes with a real small cable. But this is something that's like when you're traveling on the go. I have one other Sony battery. That's it. One other battery. So I'm never having to like have 5 and 6 of these different ones. I don't know what people are doing other than they just don't want to ever charge a battery. But when I take one out of the camera, I put it on the charger and take the charge battery and put it in the camera. And then I'm just swapping between those two. You don't need 1,000 batteries or 5 or 6. I don't know what the hell people are doing. They don't charge stuff anymore, apparently. So you don't need 5 or 6 of these batteries. Maybe get 3 if you just want to be comfortable. Have one that's always charged or something. Or get a third. Most of these sometimes come with a third-party battery anyway. I mean, like the difference between if it was already like an hour and a half, 2 hours recording, let's say at 1080p, then now you're at like 30 and 45 minutes sometimes, like if you're doing 1080p, depending on the bit rate and whatnot. So I showed and talked about the battery lives on that before. So just something to consider, take advantage of. Like, just make sure you're getting stuff. And if you want that one specifically, I don't know if some of these small accessories are on sale. Again, I'll add more stuff to the blog post as I'm finding them. K-Star battery for the FW50 is that kind of a battery. So let's see what we find on the Zon. So you'll see a bunch of stuff on here. I have one similar to this, the newer one, or you can get one that has the 2 cases, fine, or 2 charging ports at once, fine. But but they just don't last. They don't work traditionally like super duper well. But I mean, these are some of these different options that come with the battery. I don't recommend getting a wall charging one either. Just get the USB one. Like everything is USB. It's just going to get you more versatility when it comes to it. But you'll see all these different random brands and stuff. But it's honestly like, I'm sorry, just to be honest with y'all, it's not worth it. I'd rather tell you the truth than lie to you. So, but if you want the one that I'm using and that I use that one. And then I used a 2-sided newer one. And that came with an extra battery or 2 extra batteries or whatever. So it's like they're charged in a drawer somewhere. So it makes sense. I think I'll run the MixPre 3 or MixPre 2 directly into the MacBook and the ATEM separately. Yeah, so if you're using the ATEM Mini and you got the MixPre, do not, like, at no time ever will ATEM's preamps be better than a siloed specific thing. Like, even if it was a Zoom H6, you don't want to cross those two because it's going to be trash. It's going to be worse. It is not worth it. Really think about the system of what you're doing and how you plan to run it. So once you get all these different pieces in play, then consider, like, how are you actively able to change anything if you need to, or, you know what I'm saying, at least monitor it at some point when it comes to that. Saying, are you using Streamlabs? No, I am not. I'm using the wonderful magic of Ecamm Live. This is what I'm using to run these streams and all my other ones. So when I pull y'all's comment up on the stream, this is what I'm doing. I just click on it and it'll come up on the screen. I could use the Loop Deck Live, but I just prefer to click on it. So yeah, if I'm clicking on anybody's comment, stuff like that, even when I actively want to change it, I can just double click on that comment, come up to it and change it, saying, this stream is awesome. Wait, is that another space? Is awesome. So if I wanted to change, I could. So anybody that loves dark chocolate, that's what I do with those comments when they say that. Repeat the demo. Oh, okay, you're answering that question. Thanks so much, sir. As you can see, using Ecamm Live, so works like a champ. I don't think we have any more specific questions. Let me know if y'all have any questions about cameras and stuff. If you're looking at other gear, I know last year some people were looking at monitors and things like that. Just whatever monitor mount you're buying, make sure you get the X brace. Like if you're putting it on a stand or something, make sure you get a brace that will not have any bowing, so you don't have your screen like twisting. It can be slight, but that's just enough to start killing pixels and stuff in your screen, and just it gets to be terrible. Like, so just make sure if it's a big, like a 50-inch or 40 ultra wide, make sure you get the actual ultra wide braces so that it can fully hold that monitor, so it's not slightly bowing or anything like that. So let me see, I had a couple more things, like 1 or 2 more things. No, I don't want to cover that. Lights. I did want to talk about some of the stuff that I was seeing on the light panels. As far as LED light panels, I just put in for like LED light panels to see some of these. Be real honest with y'all. GVM is nice. It's not that price nice. I don't know what the hell they're thinking about, but that's a no-go for me. If you're going to spend $400 and $500, you might as well go with true and tried brands that's not some third party, something hiking up the prices. So for $450, I don't care who says what, that is not worth that price. I have tried those lights and that is not worth those price. Like, it's just not. They're nice and they're cool, but they not $400 and $500 and $600 good. Sorry. Apps don't work that well. Sorry, not sorry. So be careful if you're looking for RGB lights and stuff. This is not worth that price. Go to Aperture and get legit lights. If you drop in that kind of money, it's not worth it. $150 off, $60 to $80. No. Sorry. Don't waste your money there in that way, because you actually could get something that is a full RGB light or comes with a light dome or a parabolic setup or whatever. Like, go to Aperture or something. Don't, like, GVM stands for like Great Video Maker, I think. But they have some good lights. But last year, these same like light kits were like $200. They ain't make or do no updates or nothing to make it $600. It's just not worth it. I'm not, like, I cannot in good conscience recommend that. So to each their own. But my opinion on those that were coming up, I did see that and I wanted to make mention of it just because it's like, it's a no-go. For RGB lights, no. They do have some other ones that are like the 850D. Like I'll pull that up real quick. If you do want some of those lights, like, excuse me, let's go here. These, like I've tried these, they're okay. Their lights are cool, but they're not like, I don't know. It just, I've tried better. You know what I'm saying? The apps didn't work as described. They could use some work. Maybe since I've tried them some months ago, they're a little bit better with the app, but they just weren't. The other thing with this is you'll see like a slave mode on here or whatever. And we talked about that before. Weird name, GVM. Updated. Shoot, did you not hear? It's not acceptable, gosh darn it. But no, but basically it's where you have one light that is being the leader. So let's say you have 4 or 5 of these for different things, which is fine. Then you can have where one light is in control. It's like the headlight. And then you have the other 4 you want to automatically change with these other ones or with the main headlight. Then these will follow the command of that one. So I'm working on one light. I'm changing that to, let's say 3200 kelvins or something. Every other light, the other 4 lights would change to also to 3200 Kelvin. If I change that to 40%, I could change the other ones to 42% automatically. They'll read it like they're following the leader, if you will. So like I said, these are fine. If you want to grab some of these 224 RGB lights, they're cool. They're heavy. Don't think you're really going to travel with these. They are heavy. Like they're metally heavy. Like they weight kind of heavy. But at least you know that they'll hold up to like a drop or something. But these are fine. Comes with the barn doors or whatever. The other ones for $500 and $600. I don't know who kid they trying to put through college, but I mean, go for the gold if you're bad enough. But I don't think, like, if you spending $600 on light, go with the Aperture. It's my personal opinion. Question: are you aware of any standing desk sales? I looked at some and didn't add it to the list. Let's see if I could pull them back up. Standing desks. Because there was some that I actually really did like. But only thing with those is like the biggest difference you'll find with like standing desk motors is who's loud and who isn't. That's basically, honestly, some will be like, and then some are just like, and that's basically the difference between them. If we just did it like a general look at the lights, just so you can see, not lights, but general look at what's available. If I'm looking at these, Vary for $795, again, most of the time it's like a motor issue or the strength of the motor and how much of a desk. Some people prefer like very like oak or, wood, or they're using a chopping block, butcher's block on there. So it's a really, really heavy weighted one. So sometimes the motors are based on that. $239 for the Flexi Spot one. It's got, 4.5 stars. I wouldn't mind trying this one if the length is what you need. Sometimes the price is representative to, again, the strength of the motor and what's going on with that one. Probably wouldn't do this one because that's just like a house cart. It's not like if you got a desk in a corner maybe or whatever, then maybe, I guess. The IE one, this one looks pretty cool. That's only got 2 stars though. So that's the thing that's like with some of these that show up at last minute. The Flexi Spot one, yeah, I'd probably be willing to bet my money there unless you just have a vibe for something else. And they got some other brands, not Flexi Spot, but some other models. So Flexi Spot, like if I had to buy one today, I'd probably go with one of these just because of the amount of ratings that it has, especially being foreign. So if I went with this one, I'd go here. I go with this one to start with, because I would assume before I even look at the statistics on it, the motor is probably decent enough. And you could probably change out the top to something that you wanted. Let's see here. And I just think depending on how big of a desk that you need, so like probably measure your space first and make sure this will work for you. But this is probably one of those ones that you can take a look at, and an additional 20 bucks off with a coupon. So, and they also have like different styles, so not bad. I probably give this one a try though. But if you want just something with a motor, maybe, okay, cool. Just make sure you're getting something that's legit. For $249, if you're clamping stuff to your desk, like sometimes people put like arms and mounts and something like that, the only thing is just like make sure that wood is sturdy. If you get something that's particle board based, it's going to collapse the desk. Like the desk physically will not be able to handle the weight. This one seems to be built a little bit better, but like I'm saying specifically like those IKEA kind of desks. Yeah, you just gotta be careful with stuff like that. But this one looks okay from what I can see. Like again, depending on what you need for the home office, just try it. It's saying that it's saying one whole piece. Okay, so I'm guessing it's okay. 2 uneven pieces. Okay, so they know the deal. They know the deal how some of the cheap ones go. So I probably give this one a go. I wouldn't go cheaper than $250 for one of these. But again, for the motor, for the kind of stuff that you'll put on the desk and clamp to the desk, I would give this one a shot. Like if I just had to pick from what I'm seeing on Amazon, this one would be fine unless you want to go for the gold and maybe like a $500 or $600 model. And then we're talking about something at that point. So something worth taking a look at. Saying, did I miss the Wheel of Wonder? We did not do the Wheel of Wonder today, David. Okay. Saying, I heard an app called Switchercast can help you switch cameras. I already can. I don't need it. Like, or if you're just asking about it, I mean, I already can. Like, and the other thing too is like with the loop deck, if I wanted to switch cameras, I could also. So it depends on what you're trying to do or what software tools or whatever that you're using. The other thing with the Loop Deck Live, so I did some tutorials on them. They're recorded. They are not edited yet. I can show you what that kind of looks like if you're maybe interested in something like this. Probably the Stream Deck could, I'm guessing. Again, I'm guessing that it could. But let's go over to, let's go this and hissin. So I will show you what's what. So over here, this is the Loop Deck Live panel. And so if I want to click on something to change it, I could. This is set up so I can use it a myriad of different ways with Ecamm. And so you can use it, you can use not just with Ecamm, like a ton of programs, Ableton Live, After Effects, Capture One, Final Cut Pro. I've been using it with Final Cut Pro 2, is doing a really good job. Zoom, I assigned some stuff from Zoom. Premiere, folks, you're not left out. Like they have a ton of programs that you can use it for in addition to just your regular computer. But if I wanted to assign this to something and say, actually, let me go over here and search for real. Let's do a shortcut actually. So do a shortcut. And I'll say that this one should go to camera 1. All I need to do is hit that actual keyboard shortcut and it'll save it. The other thing is once you add more buttons and stuff to a page or whatever it is that you're doing, you can keep using it. I already got some other stuff added here, so I'll add camera 2, drag that over here. And I am doing this in real time, so it's not like a pre-recorded video. Let's see, camera 3. Can assign that to camera 3. All right, and then those are automatically saved and those are good to go. So now I can exit out of this, come back over here to Ecamm, and let's do something interesting. So now you can see my keyboard and stuff like that, and we'll do a little bit more inception for you. And we'll press that so you can see the Ecamm Live side of it if you wanted to. But now you can see what's going on. And like when I come up here to the Just Me screen, like you see, I already have a built-in camera switcher in Ecamm. So I could click and switch to each individual camera. I can even put a guest up here if I wanted to, up to like 4 different ones or whatever. But I also could go to the page that I assigned this stuff to. And this would be camera 2 already, camera 1, and then camera 3. I can switch already. I don't need necessarily another program the program itself has it baked into it. I don't necessarily, you know what I'm saying, need to do anything else. I can control a ton of stuff here. So it just depends. Again, what are you using and how efficient would it be for you to either get something like a Loop Deck Live for something else that you're using if it has built-in shortcuts and stuff like that. Again, just something to consider depending on, you know, what you're trying to do. If you can elaborate more, maybe perhaps I can help ask or answer some more of those questions for you. Saying, I'm shooting a 3-camera podcast with the M50, Canon M50 and the Canon RP. I want to add a third camera, thinking of getting another RP camera or a Sony ZV-E10. Your thoughts? So Heath Wiggin, it's good to see you. Glad that you're here. To be honest with you, I would not mix and match different brands because it gets to be more expensive and more frustrating than it's worth. I would choose if you're going to stay with Canon or choose if you're going to move to Sony. If you already have Canon cameras, you already enjoy that setup process and look, stay with Canon cameras. You can get another RP, you can get another R. Those are on sale today. I don't personally recommend Canon cameras because it introduces more problems for the stuff that my community is into these days than it does help. So that's why I personally don't recommend them anymore. It's just Sony fits the bill for most of these things. But for you and your question, should you get the ZV-E10 on top of your Canon cameras? No. Simply because it's going to do different things. It's going to have a different look. The autofocus is faster than those cameras. Even though they are all good, you will notice it's faster. The other thing is Sony lenses are different. It's going to have different characteristics. All lenses have different characteristics as well. So you may notice a warmer hue to some lenses versus others. Even when you white balance, you do a custom white balance, it's just still going to be different. So I wouldn't mix and match camera brands. Honestly, you got 2 sets of batteries, 2 sets of cables, no. The original Canon M50 does not have clean HDMI out. The RP, I don't think originally has clean HDMI out. So I would assume you're using a USB setup. The ZV-E10 has both. You can do native USB streaming. You have native USB streaming through Ecamm, which is better than what they actually have in the camera. And then you also have clean HDMI out. You're also looking at cameras that those Canon cameras have a 4K, but it's kind of crippled, so you're not getting autofocus there. You'd have to manually focus. You do have autofocusing in 4K up to 4K 30 frames per second on the ZV-E10. However, still goes back to my original recommendation. Don't mix and match brands. It winds up being more of a headache than it's worth. So really just probably see, do you really want to stay with Canon? Then get another RP or something, or a R, or Canon R or something like that. Or even like the M6 Mark II even. That'll be fine if you want to go APS-C. That's honestly a better camera than the other two. But if you want to go Sony, sell everything and switch to Sony. Don't even keep and try to, no. It's two totally different thought processes and how you create and all this extra other stuff. So I get the price is good on the ZV-E10, but I would never recommend like mixing and matching stuff. You're going to get 2 totally different looks. And if you're into color grading, you do get log profiles on the ZV-E10, even though that they're 8-bit. That only matters to an extent if you're pushing colors beyond a certain point. Most people beginning color graders aren't. So, nah, you got to decide whose camp are you in, you know. Saying the AC cable came with the newer lights. Keep going out. I replaced it and it messed up my cable. I'm not a fan of the newer LED lights, I'm assuming. I don't think I recommended any newer lights today, but if you saw some probably on sale, it's like sometimes like for some of this stuff, it is a really good quality and it's cheap in price. And some of this stuff is cheap in price and it's cheap quality. So you you hope to find some of the good budget friendly gear and just at a nice price versus the other one. So it's just something to consider when you get in gear. I sometimes just like to go for the gold. Viltrox, the lights I use are usually on sale for Black Friday, and they aren't this year. A little frustrating. They're still a good price. It's just not on sale. It's no discounts today. So maybe on Cyber Monday, I'll check back and see. But I've been using these Viltrox lights probably about daily since 2000. Yeah, it has been daily since 2019. I highly recommend them. I really like it. It also comes with a remote that I keep back here. So if I switch to the product showcase, like this is the remote that comes with it. So if I want to turn my lights on or off, this one in front of me, actually I clicked over to the other one. I can turn that off. You can probably see the screen a little bit better, the LED screen. But it comes with two, well, it doesn't come with batteries, I don't think. But you can put 2 AAA batteries in here. And as many of these sets that you see, D, E, F, and all that, I can hook up as many of these Viltrox lights as I want to, and they just work. I can individually control them, or I can set them up to pair and set up and work together, and then they each individually will work. So I can cut the ones off in the back. If you look at the lighting, you see it got darker. So this is just with one LED light, and this is at about 45, maybe 50%. So this is at 40% behind me. So you can see I can just control that light. I can adjust the temperature to make it warmer or cooler. This one's actually at 53%. So I can turn this one off, and then you only see that light back there or whatever. So I can individually control them, which usually helps for teaching moments like this, to help with that. And it just tends to work. But it's not one of those things where it's saying it has an app and you can change all, like that was my thing with the GVM ones. It was like, oh, you got the app and you could change. Yeah, but it wasn't effective. Hell, I just rather change the dial physically if the app isn't going to work, or it's like partially in Chinese and partially in English. It's like, all right, y'all playing games because I can't read. Like Google Translate, please help. And so something to consider there. Saying, what's your favorite deal for this Black Friday? Probably that kit that is for the the Manfrotto Pixie. That was like $16 or $17, I think. I like that. It's on sale because I personally use it. So if I wanted more, that was one. The Ulanzi Quick Claw, and then it's mostly like little accessories. There's some other stuff I haven't just personally shopped for yet that I'm interested in. And then the Ulanzi Quick Claws. Like, I'm at a point now where it's not a whole lot of big stuff that's ever going to be on sale. You're never going to see like cameras that are brand new go on sale or nothing like that or whatever. But that's usually it. And then as far as like memory cards, that's something that I always try to probably pick up every Black Friday, because you're always going to see those SanDisk Extreme cards, Extreme or Extreme Pro memory cards. Pull that up real quick. Those usually are on sale for a really good price, which I forgot to add that to the conversation today. But since we're here, we can go right on over to the screen. So the SanDisk Extreme ones, I use 256 gigabytes. The more you start to play in the 4K world, so let's say your goals are to start making 4K content, like you want to upgrade from 1080p, 128 gigabytes will still get you pretty far for $27. A lot of people ask, should you get these smaller cards? The answer, like for video, no. Can you use them for video? Yes, but that doesn't mean that you should. And the reason why is because these come with adapters. The speeds that they're saying that the card can do, the adapter don't keep up ever. It don't ever keep up. So you're not actually getting those speeds, or you wonder why your audio is out of sync with your video when you transfer that over from the memory card to Final Cut or a Premiere or something. Is because the transfer speed of the card is not holding up with the data transfer. Like that happens sometimes with HDD drives, you know, if you're getting something like that. Another one that's always fantabulous to have in the kit, $19 for the SanDisk Extreme cards, 128 gigabytes. I'll add this to the chat if y'all want to take advantage of that. You can't ever go wrong, like with having good memory cards. And the way that you get the fastest speeds possible on the SanDisk Extreme cards is have the SanDisk card reader. I have all of that stuff already recommended on the website. They have a USB-C version and they have a USB type A version, that's USB 3.0. So they have both of those. That's how you get the fastest speed. I usually have mine somewhere on the desk. Oh, it's plugged into the computer. I'm not touching it because that means I'm gonna lose files probably somewhere in editing somewhere. But but yeah, this is a dope deal. It's something to definitely like pick up. 128 gigabytes. Like these, you just can't go wrong with these unless you're getting like something like a Sony a7 IV. You need a UHS 2 card at that point. These are UHS 1. All of you getting R, Canon R, RP, Sony a7 III even, ZV-E10, a6600, a6400, a6100, any of those kind of cameras, this works perfectly fine. It can handle the data transfer from the card to the computer and from the camera to the card. The speeds, real quick, history lesson here. Not even history lesson, just education lesson, if you will. This is not the speed of the card when it comes to what matters. That is the speed when you're the read speed, which means how fast is it transferring from the card to the computer. That's what that number is. The only way that you'll know what the actual write speed, WRITE, it writing to the card, is when you go down and you take a look and you're saying like it's up to 70 megabits per second on the transfer speeds when it's writing. Past that, like the other speed is cool, you know it'll keep up, but yeah. So the SanDisk Extreme cards, I like those. Look at UHS-2 cards if you need, which somebody asked me on Instagram, what does this mean on the card right here? That I, or one, whatever it kind of looks like, it's UHS-1. That's a UHS-1 card. UHS-2 is like if you get an A7 IV, Sony a7S Mark III kinds of cameras. Now you want to get a UHS-2 cards to handle those kinds of speeds. You still got the ZV-E10, Sony a7 III, whatever. You're fine with these. M50, Canon M6 Mark II, you're good. Alrighty. Then buy Neewer lights if you want something affordable with great quality. See, oh, this is where the comment came with the AC adapter issue. So be careful about those. Try it. Question, thoughts on the Falcon Eyes R224 something for a key light? Let's take a look at what these are running for today. And then we can pull it up and I'll show an image. And I will drop a link to the SD card I just finished talking about in case anybody's curious about that. And be sure to drop your questions in the chat if you have questions about gear, accessories, tools, whatever. Today is the day, because you're either gonna buy it right, or you're gonna buy it twice. It's just the way it rolls. Falcon Eyes. Falcon Eyes as a brand tends to be pretty good. Let me try this specific one you're talking about. LED lights. Alrighty. And I'm just waiting for the screen to load. Are these the flex lights that you're talking about? These right here? Nobody I know that has these has had issues with them. Flexible LED lights. Again, Falcon Eyes has been a brand that, again, coming with the warranty and stuff, if you did have an issue with them, they're fine. I've not known anybody that had these that had a problem with them. It's just one of those brands that's worth trying if you want to go that route. I thought Viltrox had some, like for those of you that looking and want flexible LED lights, cool, but may try Viltrox or somebody like that. But as far as Falcon Eyes is concerned as a brand, I've not had anybody complain about them. It's just not something like it was in style, I'll put it that way, on YouTube for probably like 2.5 years ago. You saw a bunch of people transitioning to that, but it became more of a hassle for them because you still need to add it to a grid. So now it's compactable, but most of the LED light panels now are like this. They're teeny, so they don't take up much space anymore. Like they used to be pretty beefy. Like for example, the GVM lights that I showed earlier, those are pretty girthy. They're pretty thick. Most like the Viltrox LED, like I travel with these, put them together and I put them in my laptop sleeve and it still has plenty of space. My softbox lights are collapsible, or the softbox panel is collapsible. It's in a disc about the shape of my hand. That goes in my bag. Don't take up no space for me to pack my lights up and go use them someplace else. But these now, like again, my only thing was that when people were suggesting this and talking about it, it wind up being more of a hassle with them being like, it's like you could Velcro, you could put it together, you got to put it in the frame, because the frame a little bit would start to bow. So it's kind of, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's just a little, like I don't know what this, I keep doing this hand gesture. I don't know how to describe this, but it just kind of bow a little bit. They're getting a little wobbly a little bit. So, I mean, it's like, they're fine, but you probably could get way more than one light for $600 if you went with like something a little bit better. So don't be afraid of maybe upgrading to something. Portability, I get, is a concern, but sometimes for the different shoots that you may be doing or the different setups that you're doing, let's say you're doing a video podcast, sometimes it's better to just get what's better, if that makes sense. And that's not necessarily price related. So something to consider there. Saying thanks, I have a channel and I want to set it up like this during a podcast. Is Ecamm for free, or is that something you need to purchase? Ecamm is not free. It is on sale today, 40% off if you want to check that out, but it is not free. You have a free trial, but it's not for free. So like if we go over here, so on the blog post for today, which I'll drop a link in the chat for that, if you want to re-access those, like you can get 40% off of the annual plan. Use the promo code cyber21, or if you just want to go there, go to dyna.link/ecamm, and you'll see that you get, it's $9.60 a month. If you want to go standard, it's $19.20 a month. If you want to go pro, everything that I've been doing, I think that you've seen on the stream today is probably in the standard account. But I mean, there are some things that you probably going to want to do that'll be in the pro account. I don't see personally, it's not because I'm an Ecamm affiliate or nothing like that. I personally don't see the benefit of going with a standard account, because at some point and at the last minute, it's going to be something you want to do that's in the pro account. It's worth getting the pro account if you're going to get it. And you probably want to get it for as cheap as it is now, because it ain't going to always be that cheap. The more stuff that they continuously add to the app, price probably going to go up after a little while. That's from my mouth to your ears, not for like me speaking on behalf of the brand or nothing like that, but just watching how businesses progress. As good as the application is, you probably want to get it now if you want to get it. So it's just something to consider. So hopefully that answers your questions. All right, let's see here. Oh, saying the frames are starting to warp. Thank you. That's what this was the hand gesture. Warp. Thank you. Warp. I don't know if my St. Louis twang will allow me to say that word, but there you go. It'll start to warp. There you go. So bought an AV Matrix, whatever that is, or AV Trim. I don't know. I pronounced that switcher for my podcast, but returned it because the HDMI didn't work. Thinking of getting the A10 Mini Pro because it doesn't require a computer. Your thoughts on needing a computer? You need a computer. Like, it's not okay. How can I say this? You need a computer. You don't have to save or run everything. Like, I don't know what kind of podcast you're doing, because I would imagine either you're getting up or stopping at 20 minutes, a hard stop at 20 minutes regardless, to reset your cameras. So you can do, like, let's say a 45-minute show, because it's going to stop at that 29 minutes, 59 seconds on the Canon cameras. Or like I said, either you're stopping at hard 20 or 20 minutes. Recording internally in the cameras, I get it. Like, you got to go here, go here, go here, or either have 3 devices or something to control each one of them. I get it. It can be frustrating. This is where kind of that conversation with Canon versus Sony comes into play. Not to get you to switch, but just think about the process and the workflow. Clean HDMI means it's not a stressor to your camera to hook it up. All of these cameras you've seen me use today, like if I go here, just so you can see all of the different ones, from this one to this one to this one, all using Ecamm Live. This one is plugged in via HDMI. This one is plugged in via HDMI, but this one is plugged in via USB-C. Just because I ran out of cam links and I was like, I need to add that to my list today of things to buy, is another cam link. And I'm not using an A10 Mini simply because I don't need one. So if you're going to get something where, like, if you think about the system and the workflow of what you're doing, here's the thing with the redundancy. And I've done a conference, like a legit, where people paid a lot of money to join a conference, and we use Ecamm to run this thing. So if you're just doing cameras for the cost of an ATEM Mini, I would say no, simply because this other probably workflow inefficiencies happening. Just to switch between cameras, you're missing an angle on something, and you would need a camera source. Generally, you want one anyway to verify. Autofocus is reliable these days. Between Canon and Sony, they're very reliable, but they aren't 100%. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always going to be that 98%, or it's like 98.99. That 2% matters when it's your guest talking and they slightly go out of focus because they put their hand up, it acquired focus on the hand, stayed in this plane of autofocus and never came back to the person. Trust me, it's happened to people and it's been frustrating. So the eye autofocus helps with that kind of stuff, especially for glasses wearers. And then it switches to the face. But you're gonna need a computer anyway at some point. You know what I'm saying? If you're actively switching, it's like, again, the efficiency is there one way or the other. If you have an editor, dragging all those files, those main source files from each individual camera, and then you're making them switch between one or two, or you can actively switch. Like, if literally, again, if we're going back over here and I'm saying like, okay, yeah, so we're going to go over to the hand shot, and then the hand shot is what it is, but I'm saying I also want to go back over here to this main shot right here. But then let's go back to what such and such says. And what do you think? Like, I can actually control what is happening just like that. And not only is it streamed and happening, with the Sony cameras, you can record internally. So I literally could put memory cards in each one of these cameras, even down to the ZV-1. I had a client, they wanted to use all their ZV-1s. I said, okay, it'll work. I'm like, I recommend real beefier cameras, but they was like, no, ZV-1's $45. I was like, okay, we'll try it. We'll go for it. And I brought backup cameras anyway, but it worked. We used like 4 ZV-1s and we recorded internally in 4K and we live streamed, and we had that running on the computer, and we used Ecamm, and Ecamm was able to capture that. So if anything happens with the footage, or we want to fix the timing on one, we could switch. We had the actual root files that were also a backup. So I just think if you're doing a show, like, minimize efficiencies already there. Especially if you're recording it or something, like my friend Nikki, who does the Nikki and Moose podcast, she uses Ecamm. When she switches between her and Moose, it's real time, using that built-in camera switcher in Ecamm. You don't have to, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I'm done with the stream is over. The switching and all that stuff is done. There's no editing. I get to go have lunch. You know what I'm saying? So, like, there's stuff like that to consider with the efficiencies. What's going on, Bobby? Good to see you. Glad that you are here. And double comment is saying, hey, everyone. Well, Bobby, you're late. Guess what, Bobby? You're late, because you know why? That's the end of the comments. And everybody, as far as I can tell, I've answered all the comments in the chat, and I don't see no more. I'm just scrolling back through to make sure I got everybody. Let's see here. All right, I think I got everybody's question answered. Doc had a question before saying the 16 f2.8 is slow because it's an old lens. Yep, came back in the NEX days. Yep, NEX 5, 6, NEX 7 camera. I don't think they had a 6, or did they? I know they had an NEX 5 and an NEX 7. It's all good though. But we finna roll out. Hope y'all had a great and fantabulous day. Don't forget to check out the blog post that will have more of the tools and accessories and gear that's adding. It'll be not just today. It'll be all the way through Cyber Monday for most of these deals. Some of these end at the end of the day. Make sure you feel free to check out that blog post. I will be constantly updating that. So there'll be plenty more things that I didn't get a chance to mention actually live that will be over in the blog post. But with that, guys, with passion, I'll see you on the next live stream here or regular video on the channel. Either way, I'll see you later.